Aries, what is going on with you? Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan Hill from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Aries Tarot love reading. In this reading today, we are going to take a behind-the-scenes peek at your romantic person of interest here at the very end of February, moving into March of 2024. Whoever it is you're romantically involved with, romantically thinking about, or just energetically connected to romantically in some way, we're going to take a good long hard look at this person to find out what's going on with them and see if there's anything that your attention or your awareness might need to be brought to about this person so you know how to navigate the situation you're finding yourself in with them. I'm going to do that by getting 5 cards to represent your person's energy here moving into March 2024. Then I'm going to clarify all those cards with a second deck, just to make sure we can get down to the bottom of the unknown truth about what's really going on in this love connection of yours. So let's get on with this Aries reading here, and let's get 5 cards for what's going on with Aries romantic person of interest as we move into March 2024, please. What's going on with Aries romantic person interest? Thank you. Another. Okay. On the bottom of the deck, the overall energy of this reading is the King of Cups. This is either Pisces or Scorpio energy. This represents that they have a lot of love and emotions for you. They may not outwardly express that, though. The King of Cups is a decision-making energy. They're very in touch with their emotions. They're very in touch with their intuition. They're usually able to keep their emotions under control most of the time. This can be someone, though, that doesn't wear their heart on their sleeve, so they don't always publicly broadcast what they're feeling about anything. So this could be someone who loves you to death, but doesn't really express that, doesn't show you. You may not even know. You may question it. This could also be a person who could be going through emotional turmoil, and you also wouldn't know that because they don't broadcast that either. I do have 7 of Wands behind that. This is Leo energy. It's a defensive energy. It's like defending their position on something, defending their stance on something, being willing to fight for what they believe in, what they think is right, what they want here. This could be them being willing to fight for the connection because they have a lot of love and emotions for you. I have the High Priestess right under that. This is she who knows. She sits in front of the veil of consciousness, so she has access to all the information that you and I as humans don't have access to. She sees everything. She knows everything. She doesn't always tell us everything, which is where your intuition comes in. She represents the intuition in the unconscious mind. Sometimes there's stuff that we don't need to know until it's time, at which point she clues you in through intuition and gut feelings and signs and dreams with messages, synchronicities, things like that. That represents the internal knowing. In a love reading, it can represent that the connection between the two of you, at least as far as your person feels, it's deeper than just something physical. It's deeper than just something emotional. This could be them feeling guided toward you in some way. I don't want to try to force anything to be overly positive or overly negative. I'm just tossing out everything that occurs to me and that I'm feeling is that this could represent someone that has a lot of love and emotions for you, and they're being defensive toward you and defending themselves against your intuition. Could be that you feel something that you don't have facts on and they're ducking and dodging and bobbing and weaving. It could be something like that too. Son of a bitch. 5 of Swords. This is Aquarius energy. 5s are conflict. 5s are change. Swords are about thoughts or communication. So this could be a conflict in thinking. This could be a conflict in communicating, bitter words being spoken, words being used like weapons. Some big fight here. This can also represent a betrayal. Can represent a person who has this winning at all cost mentality, I'm going to get what I want, and if you get hurt in the process, well, sorry about your luck, Aries, I'm getting what I want. It can be that. At its core, it's a mentally and psychologically painful situation or event. We could have a problem here. We could have had a big argument where they were being defensive and you felt like you knew something and what they're saying and what you're feeling don't necessarily match. and they might have a really good poker face. So it's hard to tell from your shoes whether you actually know or whether that's like that fear voice in the back of your head. But there is some betrayal, like painful thing lurking in the background, and behind that is Temperance, which is the Sagittarius Major Arcana card. It's a card of patience, but it's also a card of like blending two things together to make something new, or rebalancing something, like recalibrating something, like when it's way out of whack and now this is like trying to even it back out. It can be reconciliation too, because in tarot, water represents love and emotions, and here the water, the love, has been separated into two different cups, and the angels recombining it back together. So that can be a case of, look, I have all these feelings for you, and I want to fight for this connection, and I'm feeling drawn to you, and yes, there was some betrayal, at minimum, some very painful thing happened. And now this could be the desire to balance that out, to put this back together. That's the overall gist of what it looks like this is probably going to talk to me about. What actually came out in your person's energy, Aries, we have the 8 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups, 3 of Swords. 8 of Pentacles is Virgo energy of work, putting in the work, the time, effort, and energy on something to get what they want, or at the least being willing to put in the work, time, effort, and energy on something. Let's clarify this and see what we can find out. Tell me more about this 8 of Pentacles. Why is that the first card here for Aries romantic person of interest? They're being difficult and making me dig for it here. The first card's always the most important. So this idea of working on something is important here. The Empress. This is the mother of the tarot deck. She is perpetually pregnant, so she's always giving birth to something. In a love reading, she represents the birth of something new, or she can also represent the rebirth of something. So if there was a problem, this would be, I'm working on trying to rebirth this. Yeah, the World. We have the ending of one cycle, and at the same time, the beginning of the next cycle. Like, this is one thing coming to an end, and at the same time, the next new thing starting. This could be, I birthed a new connection, and this is the ending of one cycle and the beginning of a new one. This is really feeling more like putting in work on something here. Either putting in work, time, effort, and energy in order to birth something new and start some new cycle and end a cycle at the same time. Or this is wanting to like have another chance at this, wanting another lap around the block so we can rebirth this and work on it. I do have Libra energy of the 4 of Swords behind that. This 4s are stability. So this would be stability of the thoughts, stabilizing the thoughts, stabilizing the mind, like trying to take a pause, take a rest, take a break, chill out, and like go inside and calm the thinking down so they can figure out what to do moving forward. Sometimes I see this and it represents a pause or a break in the connection, as in like, well, we're taking a time out right now, we're on a break right now. It's a break up, but it's not an official breakup. Sometimes people just call it a break. It's about really like trying to calm down so I can figure out what to do moving forward. Queen of Swords, more Libra energy. This is she who knows the truth. She's very smart and she knows what's going on around her, and she's very fair, which is why she holds her hand out like that. She's offering someone the chance to speak their truth. Tell me your side of the story. The problem with her is she already knows the truth, so when she tells you to speak your truth, if what you speak doesn't match the truth she knows, it's off with your head. This usually represents having a discussion about something where there's like questions being asked and then some sort of a severing of the connection afterwards. So this is either I'm putting in work to birth something new and to end this cycle with you and start this new cycle, and I'm trying to like calm down and figure out how to do that, how to like tell you this and cut this off. Or the other way this could be read is I birthed something new and I'm trying to put the work in on rebirthing this so that we can like end the cycle of the way it is between us now and start a new cycle where we calm down and we figure out what to do moving forward and Probably going to require some difficult conversation and probably some cutting away of things that aren't in our best interest anymore. Could be either of those at this point. It might actually be one way for you and the other way for the very next Aries that comes behind you to watch this. But when I clarify this Eight of Pentacles idea of putting in work on something, I get the Magician, the Eight of Cups, and the Lovers. The Magician is the Mac Daddy master manifester of the tarot deck. This is someone who's got all the tools, abilities, resources, skills, like everything they need to shape the world around them to be the way they want it to be in alignment with what their will desires. They have all four aces in front of them. The aces are the ones of the four suits, 1111, which is the manifesting number. So this indicates someone is actively trying to manifest something. They're actively taking actions, putting work in on something. What this really is telling me is like, this person has created the situation that requires work to be put in on something. They've created the situation I'm reading about here. Eight of Cups is Pisces energy of emotionally detaching, physically walking away. The person in the card is walking away from 8 full cups of love, and they're doing that because they believe something better is out there for them, and they have to go find out if the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. A lot of times, what they find out is, no, it's not greener over there, and then they try to come back. It seems very, very strange that the thing I would be trying to manifest is like walking away, making you detach from me, or trying to manifest me detaching from you and walking away, and at the same time putting work in to rebirth something. That doesn't seem to add up. This is almost like I'm trying to manifest something, and the thing I'm trying to manifest that I'm putting the work in on is birthing something new and ending things with you, like being able to like detach and get away. And I'm trying to figure out how to do that, how to cut this off. Yeah, right behind Queen of Swords, I have the Hierophant. This is Taurus Major Arcana energy of commitment, being in a committed connection, being committed to something that's bigger than you and like trying to take it to the next level. This is like going to the next level in the connection, like living together, being married, something like that, and trying to sever that. Right behind it is Justice. This is the Libra Major Arcana card. It's the most powerful card of balance in the deck. It's about doing the right, fair, just thing. The sword in this card is used to cut away something that's not in balance, so balance gets restored, and then the right, fair, just thing can happen. Like what's supposed to happen can happen. But the fact that it's here usually indicates that there's something unfair and unjust happening, and there's a need to correct that. Or there's something out of balance happening, and there's a need to rebalance that. I do have Knight of Swords, and Five of Swords, and Wheel of Fortune. Knight of Swords is the fastest knight in the deck. It's like rushing forward, taking this rapid, decisive action on something. Usually this is not the person who thinks about it all first and has this elaborate plan and then goes and does that. This is spur of the moment, like spontaneous, like impulsive kind of an energy usually. It's usually like somebody who rushes in super fast and takes this action that they didn't think about first, and they're not thinking about it while they're doing it. They just do it and they're out. And they think about it afterwards when it's too late to do anything about it. And there's that betrayal again. Five of Swords, betrayal, like mental, psychological, painful thing. And the Wheel of Fortune. This is like a change in events here, a change in the luck and fortune. This is like a pivotal moment where the wheel, if it was going good, this is when the wheel spun the other way and it went to hell in a handbasket. Like, there's too many swords here. There's far too many swords here. There's an element of something that's not right happening. And this is really looking like the thing that I'm putting in the work on is trying to create something with someone else first, and then trying to get the hell away from this commitment that I'm in. And that's leading me to do shady... manipulative is the word that's trying to come to mind. You know, while this Magician is the master manifester, every card has positive and negative aspects to it. The negative aspect of this is like Well, what's the magician doing when he's shaping everything around him to be what his will desires? He's manipulating the world around him. He's manipulating the energy, the universe. He's manipulating. So it can be a manipulative kind of an energy here. I definitely have painful stuff happening that changes things. It's related to a choice about what your person actually wants. This is Aries energy. It's a fork in the road. It's a crossroads for them. Crossroads probably in the connection with you, and it's a decision point about what is it that I really want for my world, and which of these two paths will get me to the thing that I want. And I have to pick one path, and I have to leave the other one behind. So this is that decision point when that occurs. And like I said, there's this detaching and walking away energy, probably trying to see if the grass is greener on the other side. Final clarifier for this Eight of Pentacles is the Lovers. This is Gemini's major arcana card. I've seen a lot of major arcana, like powerful energy here. We have a lot more ability to exercise free will over the minor arcana cards. Like we can choose what we work on, what we invest our time, effort, and energy into. We can choose to not do anything and just lay around all day and be lazy if we want. You got much less control over these major arcana energies. The Lover's card, yes, it can indicate that it's a powerful connection between the two of you, contrary to popular, what YouTube readers like to say is that this card means the twin flames, and it has absolutely nothing to do with twin flames. I'm not going to get on that soapbox right now, but there's a lot about the twin flame stuff that no one seems to have the guts to say, so I'm going to say it. I'm preparing everything now. I will publish some of that stuff soon, but I'm going to blow the doors off of this twin flame thing because I'm sick and tired of watching people get sucked into this cult and end up stuck in these painful situations that they should have never been in to begin with. And the thing that keeps them in there is because they had some reader tell them that this person's your twin flame, all because this card came out. A long time ago, before this was called the Lovers, it used to be called the Choice. So it represents a choice and the interconnectedness between people. So if I make a choice and I'm in a connection with you, my choices are going to affect you, and likewise yours would affect me. So this is about the interconnectedness and the impact of the choices we make on the other person. It's also an indicator that there could be a choice about this connection here with your person, and it's tied to detaching and walking away. It could also represent that there is a choice between two lovers here for your person. They've created a situation by putting in the work and birthing something new that brought another person in, and now we got to choose. In fact, the next energy for them is the Two of Cups, which is the minor arcana version of this Lover's card. This is Cancer energy. This is a love connection between two people, an emotional connection. It's I breathe you in, you breathe me in, we're connected, but it is a two. And in tarot, twos represent choices. So this is some choice about the connection, or it is a choice between more than one couple of love, more than one lover, however you want to look at that. Tell me about this Two of Cups, please. Why is this here for Aries, romantic person of interest? Wow. On the bottom of the deck, yeah, you don't say. The Devil. This is the Capricorn Major Arcana card. This is usually a heavy toxic energy. This is usually obsession with something, an addiction to something, a feeling of being trapped by something, feeling like I can't escape from something, like something has control over me and I don't have control over it. A lot of times this will indicate that there's toxicity in your person or around your person, or since we're clarifying a choice about a connection, that the connection itself is toxic. I'm kind of glad this came out because it leads me back to this Lover's card again. This is supposed to represent divine connection, like divine love. In other words, love the way God intended love to be when the thing of love was created to begin with. Like he doesn't make mistakes, whether you believe in God or spirit or source or the universe or the divine or the all or however you view it. That divine thing that the creator, for lack of a better word, created everything exactly the way it was intended to be. There are no mistakes as far as that goes. But notice they're the same two people from the Lover's card as on the Devil card here. So anything that's not exactly in alignment with the way it was intended to be is by definition distorted, which is what this represents. Distorted, toxic version of this. This, like if you think about the devil in television shows and movies, it's always represented by some white male that's dressed in this fancy like $3,000 suit, and he's got his hair all slicked back, and he looks great, and he looks like he's rich and powerful and awesome, and it's all a masquerade. It's like what the devil presents is an illusion. It's a masquerade. It's pretending to be this powerful love connection. And sure, it's powerful, but look, these people aren't here because they want to be. They got chains around their neck. They're distorting because they're in this distorted energy. They have horns. They have tails. It's changing who they are, being in this toxic connection here. This is divine connection. This is distorted connection, and you cannot be in a divine connection when you're with a person in that connection that carries all this toxic, distorted energy with them. That would be like if you have a glass of water and I have a glass of urine, and I pour half of my urine into your water. Do you still have water anymore? Or do you have like watery piss at that point? You know, like you can't blend these two things together and still come out with a divine connection. Their choices impact you. Their energy impacts you. 10 of Wands. This is a heavy burden that they carry here. It's supposed to be a completion card because it's a 10. This is supposed to be the stage where they lay this burden down and move forward without it. But that's not what's happening. 9 of Swords. This is Gemini energy of fear, worry, and anxiety. Thinking about something so much with all this fear and worry behind their thinking that it's starting to stress them out. Like, this is a person in mental anguish, like sleepless nights, nightmares. I can't concentrate on what I'm doing. I can't shut my mind off. This is like fear and worry that manifests itself physically. And what they're worrying about? Ace of Cups, a new cup of love. This person is burdened by internal urges and desires, and toxic behavior is like a catch-all term for this. It's really like a piece of their shadow, like a piece of themselves they don't like, and they don't want you to see it. They don't want other people to see it. They don't want to see it themselves. And this is probably something that they cover their eyes about, and they pretend like it's not there. Kind of like when a little kid is afraid in their bedroom at night and they think there's some bad person in their room, and they pull the blankets over their head. Like, not looking at it is going to make it go away if it was there. And like, this is the thing that they don't want to be there. They're probably in denial about it, and they're burdened by it. It's usually caused by some painful thing that happened to them in the past, and then they never healed from it properly. They just pretended like it didn't happen, pretended like I'm fine, and just like shove it down and repress it and hide it in the shadows of themselves and ignore it, thinking that it'll go away, but it doesn't go away. It weighs them down. And it causes mental anguish. But this is also fear, worry, and anxiety about this new cup getting exposed. Like, I don't want you to find out yet there's a physical opportunity presenting itself behind this opportunity for love and emotions. Now, when I clarify this 2 of Cups, this either decision about the connection or this decision between more than one person, I get 7 of Wands, 5 of Wands, Knight of Cups, King of Wands. Out of these 4 cards, 3 of them are fire energy. 3 of them are wand energy. The wand is the phallic symbol of the deck. It represents like passion, desire, the male phallus, and using it to be intimate, sexual energy, sex. Got a lot of wand here. 7 of Wands is Leo energy. Didn't we already see that? Yeah, it's right here underneath the King of Cups. This person that has all this love and emotion, and there's this thing they're being defensive about, and then there's this intuition going off in the background about betrayal. This is them defending their position, defending their stance, fighting for what they desire, fighting for what they want, what's important to them, fighting to protect the thing they're trying to manifest. It could also be that there's a piece of them that's trying to fight for this connection with you as well, especially with the next card being Five of Wands. This is Leo energy of a conflict in their desires, like an internal conflict inside of them where a piece of them wants you and another piece of them wants this other person, and they're playing this internal battle of tug of war inside what it is that they want, pulling themselves in different directions at the same time. There is this detached energy next to it, like emotionally detaching and physically detaching and going off to see if the grass is greener or not. And there they are, going off to see if the grass is greener. Knights are action takers and cups are love and emotions. This is actions toward love and emotions. This ain't the stage of I'm sending lovey-dovey messages back and forth with someone. This is past talking about it. This is doing something about it, taking like romantic actions, romantic gestures, moving forward with love offers and trying to advance a love connection. And in one sense, they're moving away from the connection with you, but this is also them having another person that they're trying to move forward with and trying to be defensive about it. I get this energy a lot when it's someone who's like ducking and dodging and bobbing and weaving, and it's like, nuh-uh, it wasn't me. Nope, I didn't do that. And I'm trying to deflect and defend myself, essentially. Defend against accusations or of some kind. Final clarifier for the Two of Cups is the King of Wands. This is Leo or Sagittarius energy. This is a bold, passionate, fiery, determined person that knows exactly what he wants. He does not let roadblocks and obstacles and challenges and problems stop him from getting what he wants. This is the dude that's like ambitious and driven, and he's going to find a way to get what he wants, or he's going to make a way to get what he wants. It's the pinnacle of the wand suit, which, like I said, phallic symbol. It's the male you-know-what, and it's using that sexual energy. It's not just being driven in the normal sense and motivated in the normal sense. This is also being driven by passion, desire, and sex. Central to your person's energy is this Seven of Pentacles. This is Taurus energy. This is a period of time. And it's either a period of time where they're pausing to like reflect on this relationship with you, reflect on this situation they're finding themselves in, taking a look excuse me, at these seeds that have been planted here. And they're trying to decide, is this ever going to grow into the Ten of Pentacles that I really want? Is this worth me continuing to invest all of my work in, all my time, effort, and energy into this? Or is this something that's never going to pan out to be the way I want it to be? And maybe I should just something that's going to pan out to be the way I want it to be. This is the person that shapes everything around them to be the way they want it to be. Or is this a spot where I'm going to have to cut my losses and move on, where I'm going to have to detach and move on? And that is the big choice about what's going on for them. This is that period of time where they pause to think about and, contemplate that kind of stuff. The other thing it could be is it could be like you see he's planted seeds, and if you plant, like if you're a farmer and you plant the seeds for your crops today, you can't come back tomorrow and harvest the fully ripened stuff and like sell it and make your money off of it. You can't reap the rewards of it. You can't eat it tomorrow. So this is that period of time where I've planted the seeds and I've done the initial like planting of the stuff. And now I'm waiting on it to like fully develop and fully mature and get to that spot where I can harvest it and do something with it. It could be both of those at the same time. They could be contemplating whether or not they should continue being in this thing with you, or should I cut that off? And at the same time, they could be waiting on this other thing to develop, that birth of something new that we saw, this other connection, this thing that they're moving forward and have all this desire for. It could be either or both at the same time. Tell me about Seven of Pentacles. Why is that here for Aries first? Thank you. On the bottom of the deck, the Hierophant. This is the Taurus Major Arcana card. This is a card of You know, something bigger than you and being committed to something bigger than you, like being fully committed to a relationship, to a connection, taking that to the next level, like living together, engagement, marriage, like going to that level. This is typically a marriage card. Justice. There's something unfair and unjust going on. There is a commitment here, but behind it, there's something out of balance, unfair, unjust happening. Four of Swords. This is like taking a pause, taking a break. I got 2 Libra energies in a row here. This is like I'm trying to figure out what to do moving forward from here. And when I figure that out, there's Queen of Swords. So now 3 Libra energies in a row. This is like speaking the truth on something and then cutting off the thing or the person that isn't in my interest anymore. This is typically the severing of the relationship. When I clarify 7 of Pentacles, I get the Hermit, the 8 of Pentacles, Judgment, 2 of Wands. This is the Virgo Major Arcana card. This is a card of withdrawal, isolation. A lot of times I'll see the Hermit when communication shuts down. Like the person just is, they're gone. They're not talking to you. You don't hear from them. If you do hear from them, it's very few and far between. It's different than it used to be. Another meaning to this is it can be a person who's doing some soul searching. They're doing some deep inner reflection and deep contemplation, especially when I got 7 of Pentacles here, reflecting on this whole thing and asking very difficult questions. This could be them inside doing that, trying to figure out what is it that I'm wanting here and what's worth fighting for. What is it I'm really trying to create for my life here? 8 of Pentacles, trying to figure out where am I going to put the work in and all the time, effort, and energy. And that was their very first card. So I have this out here in both decks. I said at the beginning, first card's most important, and here it is showing up again. Putting in the work on something, searching their soul for what is it? Is this worth it or not? Is this commitment the right thing for me? Is that what I want? Is that what I'm moving forward toward? Or am I cutting that off? Yeah, Empress, and going with the birth of something new and ending this cycle and starting a new cycle. I got King of Pentacles and the Strength card here. The King of Pentacles is Virgo or Taurus energy. This is usually like husband energy, the person that's building their life with you or around you, like provider, husband, father type energy. And then this, either them trying to rein themselves in and hold themselves back and not let themselves like give in to these urges and desires. That's what we saw with the Devil card, trying to resist that piece of themselves. But people always run out of willpower, and we always eventually lose the struggle, just like she would lose the struggle against a lion. Like if the lion's staying with her, it's because it's decided to be cool for a minute. You can't tell me for 1 second that if this lion decided, you know what, lady, screw your idea, I'm going to go do this, that she could stop it. She couldn't. It would maul her. So this is like an element of your person having a very difficult time, either with this being husband type of a feeling or being combined together with someone, or this is them like trying like hell to rein themselves in because of that position that they have there. Where do I want to put this work in? Well, I'm conflicted because a piece of me does want to put it in with you and another piece of me wants to detach from you and walk away. Probably, again, to see if the grass is greener on the other side. Either way, they go through this time where they're probably not talking, and that kind of stuff is what they're working on, figuring out what to do and which do I really want. And then we get Judgment, which is a major arcana card, excuse me, about a final decision being made. In a love reading, it's the decision about, is this dead and over with between the two of you? Or it's a decision about, can we resurrect this and bring it back from the grave, bring it back to life and transform it, put the work in on it to fix it. It's not looking good because I have beside it actions toward love and emotions. Like that's the decision that they come to. They take the actions that they have this other person, then they take actions of love and emotions with them or toward them, all this passion, desire, sexual energy toward them, and then a decision gets made. If it's even actually made, because the next clarifier here is the Two of Wands. Aries energy. It's that fork in the road, that decision point. What do I want for my world, and which path gets me there? And look, he's looking right at the King of Wands. Like, what I want for my world, the path, even this decision card, judgment, is a fire energy. And I got 2 wands here with it. And like, that's where they're, the world that they want definitely includes the wand and the sexual energy. Next card in their energy, Aries, is the 9 of Cups. This is Pisces energy. This is a singles energy. It's a step backwards from the 10 of Cups, which is that happily ever after, that happy fairy tale romance we all want, where 2 people are combined together emotionally and pouring themselves into each other, and everyone's happy and fully in love. This is a step back from that. This is about personal happiness and personal wish fulfillment for an individual by themselves. This is someone who's happy and content in and of themselves, or it's a person who presents themselves as if they are single emotionally when they're not. It can also be a person whose own personal happiness and their own personal wish fulfillment is more important than your happiness and your wish fulfillment. What's important to me is more important than what's important to you. What's important to me is more important than what's best for us. It can be that kind of an energy too. Excuse me. Tell me about this 9 of Cups, please. Bottom of the deck, 10 of Wands. There's that Sagittarius energy of a heavy burden that they're carrying related to their personal happiness and their wish fulfillment. There's that burden about putting in all this contemplation about, is this what I want? Is this going to turn into what I want? Should I keep investing myself in this, or should I cut my losses and move on? It's all about me, myself, and I, and my own happiness, which is probably why I saw the 5 of Swords in both decks here. It's right here sticking out the side still. That 5 of Swords is like, all I care about is what's important to me. And if in order for me to get what I want, if you have to get hurt, well, so be it. That's your problem. As long as I get what I want. That's what I'm primarily concerned about. Yeah, there's the devil in the background. This whole contemplating thing and asking, is this what I want? Or do I want something different and I should move on? That's all unconscious stuff that's happening. This isn't them choosing to do this because they're smart and logical. This is internal drives. This is stuff under the surface that's running the show. They're not in control of it. It's controlling them. It's dictating policy to them. And that's part of their burden, is they don't even look at that. They don't face that. It's kind of hard to do something about the thing that controls you when you can't even admit that it's there, and you're unwilling to even consider that it's there, let alone look for it and face it when you see it, and then do the work required to overcome that thing and dethrone this toxic thing inside of you. That requires tremendous work and effort and dedication. And they got King of Wands out here, but it's for the wrong reason. It's because this is like making the wand element of them way, way more important than it should be. My own happiness is way more important than it should be. There's this 5 of Pentacles behind that, Taurus energy of abandonment. This is abandoned, cast aside, left out in the cold, walked away from, discarded. This is a breakup energy here. And it's directly tied to that toxic thing inside them. That definitely needs balanced out. Sagittarius energy of temperance. This is screaming like, look, dude, this was a burden. I thought about that, and then the devil took over and I break up. But now this is reconciliation energy here. This is a person who is, I don't think they can not do the stupid shit that their urges compel them to do. I don't think they can control that. And it doesn't look to me like this person doesn't love you. They do love you. But that is not enough to stop them from doing the stupid shit that they do, because I can just come back and balance this back out. You're patient. And I can be patient enough until you're willing to cooperate and blend this back together. I want to clarify this 9 of Cups, 9 of Swords, the Hanged Man, 9 of Wands, 2 of Pentacles. 9 of Cups, 9 of Swords, 9 of Wands, 999. I got the Hermit card, the 9 of the Major Arcana. The only 9 I'm missing is the 9 of Pentacles, which would be like being physically single. I've got emotionally single, but not physically single. And like I said, sometimes this is not a person that is single. It's a person that isn't single, and they're actually with someone who's pouring love into them, but they present themselves as if they are single. And I got all this fear, worry, and anxiety, Gemini energy, thinking about it with fear, worry, and anxiety so much, like behind their thoughts, that it's stressful. This is usually, I'm worried like hell that something's going to come out. It's not willing to face the situation that they're in. They got their eyes covered here. See, that's the thing about this, is like the swords, if this person would summon up enough courage to take their hands off their eyes and look at the situation they're in, face it for what it is, they'd realize that the swords make a ladder up out of the darkness. But this is a person that stays stuck in the darkness because they refuse to, they can't summon the courage to actually look. That's what the Hermit is supposed to be about. It's supposed to, that's the star in the Hermit's lantern, shining the guiding light inside yourself and having the courage to go rooting around through the shadows of yourself, looking for that devil stuff so you can face it and do something about it. That's the work they're supposed to be putting in, but that's not what they're doing. Next, I have this Pisces energy of the Hanged Man. This is progress being halted, no forward movement happening, things being stuck at a dead standstill. The Hanged Man is someone who's hanging upside down because they're trying to look at things from a different perspective than they normally would, look at things from a different point of view than they normally would, and they're doing that, trying to figure out, why am I stuck? How do I get unstuck? And how do I move forward from here? The problem is, like this Hermit and the Hanged Man, at their core, they're both about trying to figure out, how do I move forward from here? There's some adjustments that need to be made so that I can move forward from here. The difference between them is where the focus is. In the Hermit, the focus is directed inside yourself. This is like searching your soul, inner reflection, like looking inside of me for what are the pieces of myself that I need to make adjustments to so that I can move forward the way I want. This is about looking at things for why am I stuck, and looking at things for how do I get unstuck. And it's placing the problem externally to them. They're looking externally to the problem outside of themselves. And if the problem's outside of them, well, then the solution has to be outside of them too. So this is typically helpless victim, blame game. It's, if I cheated on you, it isn't my fault I cheated on you. It's your fault I cheated on you. Like, you shouldn't have talked to me that way, and then I wouldn't have did what I did. It's like that kind of, it's like putting the blame on anything that's not me. And again, that's why the devil is still there, because nope, I don't have the devil inside of me. That's your devil. That's not mine. That's this other person's toxic thing, or it's this toxic situation, or it's the way mommy treated me when I was a little boy, or it's because my daddy left. It's something like that, to where it ain't my fault. It's something else's fault. I'm absolved of all wrongdoing here. I don't have any blame in this. And therefore, the work isn't being put in on the right thing, which is why there's still this internal conflict and this detaching. That internal conflict is, yes, it shows itself as like a conflict between, well, I want you and I want her, or I want you and I want him. It's like, whatever the case is, like, I want these two opposing things and I can't have both of them, and I'm torn between those. But this is just as much an internal conflict between their heart and what they actually want, and that toxic devil energy there that compels them to do things based on the wand and desire and not based on love and emotions. You don't get me wrong. I'm a Leo. I've got 3 Leo placements. I'm Leo Sun and Leo Venus, and I'm a Sagittarius Moon. So if I'm King of Wands all day long, there ain't nothing wrong with passion and desire and sexual energy and all that fun stuff. Nothing wrong with that. Until it's like so out of balance, and it's like that's way too much. This is way too much. This is like obsession with it, like addiction to it. And they don't want to look at that. It's like, nope, it makes me happy. There is nothing wrong with it. I refuse to look at that. And I'm staying stuck in it because there's nothing wrong in it. And then this other 9, this 9 of Wands, this is Sagittarius energy of being walled off and defensive. This is a barrier coming up, a protection, a defense mechanism coming up here. A lot of times this will indicate someone has been hurt too, like the devil does. Like this is the wounded warrior. He's got a bandage on his head. He's using one of the wands to help himself stand up because he's been injured. He's been hurt. Hence the wall he builds. It's like the way to protect himself so he doesn't get hurt anymore. And I see that happen a lot too. Like this devil energy. This doesn't mean a person is like a bad person or an evil person. It just means they got some shit under the hood that's actually in control and it's actually running things and not them. Like I used to work in the fitness industry. So I used to be a personal trainer. I used to teach marketing to personal trainers and teach them how to grow their businesses and stuff like that. And one of the things that you notice when you spend enough time working, like typically you're going to have clients that are overweight, like middle-aged women, housewives, stuff like that. And they'll want to lose weight. And every once in a while, you'll get a lady that is like dramatically overweight. And I don't mean she's like, 20 pounds overweight. I mean, she's a couple 100 pounds overweight. And it's like, you stop and think about that. And it's like, well, how in the hell do you go from like what you used to look like to waking up and looking like this? Like, that's not an overnight thing. That's like something under the surface is driving that. And I had one lady one time, like, I'm trying to help her with that stuff. And most of it isn't like, here, do these exercises and here, eat these foods. Most of it's like psychological stuff that's going on and that causes the problem. It's not external to them. It's almost always internal to them. And you'll find stuff like this lady's like 400 pounds because back when she was 22 years old, someone that she was madly in love with broke her heart and it almost crushed her. And this is the overweight thing, like the gaining 200 extra pounds is a defense mechanism that her unconscious mind puts up at this wall to protect herself. And it's like, dude, that sucked. And I'm going to make sure you never go through that kind of pain again. So here, I'm going to force you, and you're not even going to notice it's happening, but I'm going to force you to gain all this weight and make yourself so unattractive to the opposite sex that you'll never get a boyfriend again, and therefore you will never get hurt like that again. And it's weird how stuff like that works, but it does work that way. And something tells me that this is part of that kind of defense mechanism that they had. They got some sort of an issue from their past, probably abandonment related, and that causes this devil thing to happen, and they don't ever heal that, so it just festers and gets worse and worse, and before you know it, it's running the whole damn show. Like, there's this decision here, and there's a wall in the way of that. Like, there's something impeding the decision, which is why I still see the Two of Wands here, this choice about what do I actually want. And it looks like what I want is personal happiness, and I'm refusing to look at any of the problems I have inside of me that cause this stupid shit that I do. Like Two of Pentacles, Capricorn energy. Again, it's a 2. It's a choice. This is physical stuff, though. It's a choice between these two physical things, and I can't have both at the same time. Like, when you hit this fork in the road, you can't turn left and right at the same time. And this is similar. This is like, I can't have you and this other person at the same time. And now I'm going back and forth and weighing the pros and cons and looking at the options and like, do I want this one or that one? And it's like back and forth, and I can't make up my mind. This can also represent a person who's juggling two people in the physical sense. I've got the Lovers out here, a choice between lovers. I've got the Two of Cups, a choice between cups of love, or a choice about this connection. There's someone here that I'm moving forward towards. I've seen the Empress a couple of times, birthing something new. And now we get to their final card, Three of Swords. This is more Libra energy. This is heartbreak and sadness from a third energy. Now, that third energy does not always have to be a romantic third party, although in this case it looks like it probably is. That third energy could be nosy friends, family, neighbors, co-workers, like anybody that's not you or them sticking their nose where it doesn't belong can create some heartbreaking thing. It could be distance. It could be working too much. It could be like too much drinking and partying. I got Nine of Cups out here. That's somebody sometimes who is like self-indulgent or overly self-indulgent. Could be alcohol problem, drug problem. It's usually alcohol with that one. There's some energy here. That devil energy. Whoever it was that hurt your person and left all that shrapnel inside that is now festered and gotten infected and is controlling everything. That person could be the third energy. But to me, it feels like we got another party in this connection. It's not just you and them. There's somebody else. Tell me about this Three of Swords. Why is that here, please? You cannot make this shit up. I wish I could make this stuff up, because I swear to God, I would just retire and I would write screenplays for Hollywood and I would be rich. I can't make it up though. Like, I get bottom of the deck is this Justice card again, more Libra energy. It's weird. Every time I hit a Libra card, I get 2 or 3 of them. And it happened here because right in the center is another Libra card, Libra on the bottom. This is Libra. This is the right, fair, just thing. It's telling me something unbalanced is going on, something unfair and unjust is going on, that there is a need to correct, and we're clarifying third energy causing heartbreak and a commitment. I don't have anything specifically that says you're married to this person, but you damn well could be. You could live with them. You could be engaged to them. You could have just been in a committed connection where you were going down that path. They got something unbalanced going on with commitment. And then there's more Libra energy again. Two of Swords. That's a decision that they need to make, but they haven't made it yet. The blindfold can represent that there's information they don't have. There's stuff that they don't know about, and that's preventing them from making a decision. I don't feel that at all. The other thing it could mean is like she's trying to decide between these two swords and she can't see because she's blindfolded. Like, why doesn't she just lay a sword down and take the damn blindfold off? And the decision is easy then. But she refuses to do that. So this can be a stubborn energy of someone who doesn't want to see something. There's something there that I don't want to look at, and I'm keeping the blinders on purpose. This is like I'm choosing not to decide, which is still a choice. It's like, it's ignorant is what that is. I'm not choosing because I have 3 cups. Like, this is Cancer energy. It can be being united and celebrating, or being reunited. It can be reconciliation, but that ain't what this is. This is the 3rd cup of love. There's 3 cups of love in this picture. And I don't want to choose because I have a commitment with you. And I have the 3rd cup of love too. This is like, I want both. I don't want to choose, which is why there hasn't been a choice. That's why there's a wall in the way of the final decision. There's that energy of trying to rein themselves in and hold themselves back and struggle against this piece of themselves that's like trying to do something that they don't want to allow. And then that husband, other half of like the building a life together equation here. And the Empress. He can't hold himself back from it. He struggles against it, but he loses the struggle. And then boom, there's the birth of something new. That's the 3rd energy. That's the 3rd cup of love. And verified again with these clarifiers. I get the Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords, and the 10 of Swords. I got 2 queens right here talking about 3rd energy, the unfair thing. We did see I'm not choosing because I have 3 cups of love. I'm not picking you or them. I'm taking both. Thank you very much. Queen of Cups is Cancer energy. This is a lot of love and emotions. This is like they get emotions and love from someone. This could actually be your energy. The Queen of Cups is the only character that has a lid on her cup. She's been hurt before. She's had her emotions contaminated. She's protecting her emotions so she doesn't get anything in them and doesn't get hurt here. But what she wants to do is take her lid off the cup and pour her love and emotions into someone. If that's you, you're heartbroken, which is why you've got a lid on your cup. It's why you're guarded with your emotions. Look, there's that counterpart thing there, like the love and emotions counterparts. They work together to build the 10 of Cups. There is that element of that connection there between you, which is why the 2 of Cups and the Lovers is here. But look what's tied to that Queen of Cups: heartbreak and sadness, mental anguish, fear, worry, anxiety, stress, sleepless nights, nightmares, communication breaking down. Like, and then everything that you want to build gets blocked, gets defended against. It's like, nope, what I want is what's important. That's what I'm fighting for. Can't be bothered with what you want or how you feel or what's going on in your mind. Queen of Swords. So I got 2 queens here. This is more Libra energy. This is speaking the truth on something and cutting off the thing or the person that's not in their best interest anymore. That's right beside the Hanged Man. Like, that's how you cut yourself down out of the tree. I'm severing the thing that I believe has me stuck. It's like I'm detaching from that. And yes, I'm internally conflicted about whether I put the work in on that, but I'm stuck. And I'm cutting myself free. 10 of Swords. This is Gemini energy of a swift, painful ending. Sometimes this is an ending you don't see coming, which is why the swords are in your back. Sometimes this is an ending in betrayal, which is why the swords are in your back. It's like, look, I got this other lover and a choice to make. And even though I'm internally conflicted, I've detached. And I'm not putting in the work on being stuck. I'm cutting that loose. I've got this other person. I'm moving forward toward them. I'm making the decision to do that. I'm putting in a wall in the way here. And I'm ending this. Now, if you still have questions you want answered about this situation or your relationship, click on any of the videos that just appeared on your screen right now. When you do, you'll be taken to more Aries love readings that can give you more insight and more clarity about what's really going on in your particular situation. And I'll see you in the next video.